Namaste. Today we are going to do our handstand session. I created this session to improve your handstand, and you can print it out under the video. You'll find the link. Just before we start with the video, I will just point out some important points. So for this session, you will need enough space, like about 2 meters around you, and you will need a wall and some comfortable clothing. Yeah, that's a good thing with yoga, you nearly need nothing. Okay, so this is the session. We'll just go through the session with you today. Just try your best. It doesn't matter if you're not, like, the first time it's sometimes quite difficult to come into specific poses, so just try it. Next time it's going to be better. Okay, so the most important thing for this session and for every other session is the breathing. So always when I say inhale, really inhale and exhale, exhale, okay. Really exhale. Okay, good. So we first start with a warming up sequence. I'll just put it here. You come to stand on the top of your mat. Just inhale and exhale, fall over your body. At the beginning you don't have to straighten your legs, you just have to warm up your arm strings. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, either jump or walk back into plank pose. And exhale. Your lower arm should be perpendicular to the floor, and your upper arm should be parallel to the floor. Inhale, push back the shoulders. And exhale into downward facing dog. I will only explain at the beginning the most important key points, then it's going to be easier. Here you really have to push out of your shoulders and try to raise your butt and just breathe. And walk forward, straight legs as far as you can. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Walk or turn back. Exhale. Straight body. Inhale. Push. Chest outward. Exhale. Just warm up your arm strings and your arms. It's a really nice one. It's a very typical yoga pose, but it's very strong and effective. And walk forward. We're going to do this 3 more times to just build up some heat, create some heat in our body, which is important to do before doing the weird stuff. Just breathe. Push out of your shoulders. Try to raise your butt. Walk forward. I actually forgot one part. Always when you stand up, okay, you walk through your hands, and now instead of just standing up, you bend your knees and raise your hands and cover your ears with your upper arms. And up. One more time. You should already feel some heat. Really follow my breath. Now you can slowly start to straighten your legs, and if you can put the soles on the floor. You don't have to. At the beginning it's a bit difficult, but you get used to it very fast. Like that. Bend your knees and up into the top and lower and up. Very nice. One more time. Straight back, jump back, push out of your shoulders into chaturanga. It's a funny name. But exhale into downward facing dog. Forward. And breathe. Stand up. Now we're going to change it a bit. Inhale. Same beginning. Exhale. Inhale. Jump back, and instead of going down into push-up pose, I call it push-up pose, we take one leg, the left leg, put it to our chest, and up into the sky. It should be very strong. It doesn't matter how high it goes, just should be very strong and straight. This will improve after some time. I really hated this pose at the beginning because everyone was better than me. Then left elbow, try not to move your hips. And exhale up into the sky. And right elbow and up into the sky. One more down to the chest and up into the sky. Put your foot down and the other leg. Chest up into the sky. Right elbow up. Elbow, inhale, exhale, downward facing split. Foot down, shut your hand up, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. It's kind of a restorative pose. And walk forward. Inhale. Your body should really create some heat. It's getting hot. Now, take the left foot again. To just push out of your shoulders, not like that, and up into the sky. Left elbow. This is a super sequence because it builds up a lot of strength in your arms and wrists, and a lot of flexibility in your feet. And place your foot on the floor. Now the right leg. Exhale. Elbow. Exhale. Put the right elbow. And exhale. Push out of your shoulders and try to reach the floor with your shoulders and to your chest. Very good. Now, you should have created some heat. And you can even put in some music if you want to activate your inner rhythm, or what do you call it? Okay. Come to your back and raise your legs. Very straight up into the sky. Now, try to push down your lower back. This part should really push into the floor. And there's my cat. And you have to have the feeling that your stomach is getting really flat, like push down. And then raise your chest and hold. Really push down. For some breaths. 5 breaths. And down again. But keep the legs in the air and just keep it. I know it's very difficult at the beginning, but after some time your feet get quite strong. So after a short break, do it again. Now remember to push down your lower back and raise your chest. And breathe. As you might know, this is for the core. And down. Very good. Now, we're going to warm up our wrists. Okay, so we're going to do handstands. So we have to open our shoulders and warm up our wrists. So take your hands, come to all your fours first, and then take your hands like this. The thumbs should point forward, the fingers sideways. And now put them together and try to touch your lower arms. And then just one side, forward, left side. Just move for some breaths. And put your feet a bit further apart, won't you? And if you're thirsty, you can just take a sip, but don't drink too much and don't interrupt your flow. Very good. Now you turn your hands so that your fingers turn to your body and your thumbs turn outward. And turn, warm up with wrists. Very good. Now release your hands and turn one hand over, and with a straight hand put it on the floor. Don't put too much weight in this hand because it's quite a dangerous pose. So just to relax your wrist. Then the other hand. Very good. Now sit on your cups like this. You can also mobilize your wrists like that if you want to. Try to not move your elbows. Try to only move the top part. Now sit on your calves, interlace your fingers, and push forward. And then with the inhale, raise your hands. And push out of your shoulders. The hands down, and change your fingers, push forward, and inhale, shoulders up. Very good. Now take your arms down. This one is a bit complicated. Oh no, not this one. Take one hand and put it around your head. If you can bind on the back like this. And if you can't, you just go as far as you can and then softly push the hand downward a bit. But keep a very straight neck. This is one of the most important things here. And breathe deeply. Like that. And the other hand. Inhale. Over the head. You can bind. One arm is often less flexible. For me, it's the right side. I just do that. Can't bind. And release your hands. Now, this one is a nice one. Take one hand and twist the other hand around it, like that. And then, important thing, push down your shoulder blades like this and raise your elbows. And breathe. You should feel a very nice stretch across your upper back. Sorry, that was a phone. Very nice. You had enough. Release it. Roll your shoulders and take the other hand and twist one hand around it. Push down shoulder blades and raise elbows. Just to warm up your shoulders for the following exercises. Okay, now since we're finished with that, we come to our first. Before we go to handstand, the first half, the warming up sequence once more. To warm up your body again, we just cool down a bit. You will memorize this sequence quite fast. Don't worry if you don't know what to do, or sometimes just try to follow. And knees, go. number 2 with the feet. Left foot. And into the sky. Up. Now the left. Out the bow. The right elbow. This is really like too much, not the right leg. You can change my session a bit. And if you print out the session, just add or change or put away some exercises. But for the beginning, I would just try it as it is. And put your time. Younga. Inhale and facing down. Very good. Now, we have our first handstand. Okay, so I have another video which explains the techniques of the handstand. So before you watch this session, please take a look at the other video, because then it's going to be much more easy. Just the main key points now. Hands shoulder wide apart, fingers spread, and index finger 12 o'clock. When you're up and doing the handstand, you should try to close your chest. Okay. There's a bit more to it, but this is enough for now. Now, find a wall behind you and sit against the wall, like this. And now, remember where you sat, and put your hands to the place where your butt was. Now, shoulder wide apart. And at the beginning it seems to be too close, but you will realize after some time that it's necessary. Now really go into downward facing dog, because you have to have a straight arms and a straight upper body in order to come up easily. Because if you try to go up like this, then you need a lot of strength, and it's not really possible. So you have to go like this, take a big step, or a lot of small ones. Then look to your hands and slowly walk down. Then try to stay there as long as you can. And breathe. Then slowly come down again. This is quite exhausting. My head is probably quite red now. But just try it. For some time you will reduce it. So if this is too boring next time, if you're not interested in this, just do it once more without listening to me. If this is too easy, next time you can try to go up into handstand and push down your butt towards the floor. Take a back bend and handstand. But this is a bit more advanced, and I would do the first one more often before I do this one. And then you can do this one if you want to. I'm not, like, sometimes it works, sometimes not. I'm not an expert in handstand, so just try to balance and try out how far you can get. Whoop. Very good. See, it's quite difficult. And just try as long as you can. Then come down wherever you are and relax your wrists by putting them below your feet. Just fold your body over your feet and just relax. You can straighten your legs if it's possible, and it's even more effective. But if it's not possible, it doesn't really matter. After some time you will be able to do it. Right. Sometimes very bad for the wrists at the beginning. And come to stand. We're going to have a balance sequence now, because handstand is a balance pose, so we have to train our balance. Okay, come to stand. And breathe very deeply and try to focus. It's very important for balance poses. Okay. Strong lower leg, very strong. And lift one leg and place it against your thigh. Very good. Try to push back your knee to have a straight hip, otherwise you will fall. My cat likes cameras. And breathe. Then you can raise your hands. At the beginning, it might be difficult, but some people are quite good in this. Before you release your leg, I turn to the side, you won't. Then try to straighten your leg before you release it to the floor. As high as you can and as straight as you can. Just hold it. Whoop. And down. Very good. Now, you do the same thing with the right leg. Place it against the thigh, inner thigh, and push the foot against the thigh so you have force. And then push back your right knee so you have a straight hip. And hands up into the sky. Whoa. Very good. As long as you can, just don't despair if you can't do it. Just try it again. At the beginning it might be a bit difficult for your feet and you will have muscle ache. Before you release the leg, and try to raise your leg as high as you can. For some time. And release the leg. Very good. Now, I will show you something, and either you can make a break or you can try to do what I'm doing next. Come to your spot, even if you want to make a break, and stay there. Or try to do the crow. A lot of you might know the crow. Try to place your knees on your upper arms and go into arm balance. Very good. Just try to get used to the idea. Really doesn't matter if you can't do it. Okay, let's go to the next sequence. And we'll have a short warm-up sequence. The warm-up sequence 1, the one at the beginning. You just do this one more often in order to make your body smoother and warm up again. One more time. Bend your knees. Great. Very good. Now, we have the warrior sequence. Sorry. This is a good one. Raise your hands. Look forward and come into a plank. And now, take your left leg, like between your hands. Move the right leg a bit forward. Train it in and straighten your left leg. Now, take your left hand, put it on your ankle, or if you can, on the floor, but I'm not very good at this. So I take the ankle and try to turn the body up. Try to push forward the hip a bit so it's not like this, but like this. Your left hip should push a bit forward. Try to look up into the sky and breathe. Very good. Now, bend your leg and come into warrior 3. Whoop. I'm really bad at this one, but just try it. Very good. Release the leg and put it in front of you. Try to grab it with your hands. This is, if you're not that flexible yet, just try to do it without your without holding your thumb. the thumb, your toe, and release your leg again. Very good. Now once more with the other side. Now we need the right leg. Yep. I think. I just train so you can see it better. Train in your left leg, move it a bit forward and straighten your right leg. Now take your ankle again and twist up into the sky. Push forward your right hip bit and try to twist your upper body. Very good. Come back again. Bend your knee. Now, one go, come into the warrior three. To focus and breathe. And you shouldn't speak. Up. Strong lower leg. Very good. The foot should be a bit higher and the chest should be a bit lower. Oh, before you release the leg, put it forward again. Breathe. Try to grab it with your fingers. This. I couldn't do it at the beginning, so don't worry. Like this. And down. Right, now we're going to do the handstand sequence once more. So again, sit against the wall. Your hands to your butt. And go to downward facing dog. You push out of your shoulders like this, and this is something totally different. Now walk up and walk down again until you reach a right angle. Like this. Very good. Just as long as you can. I'll give you some time to do it. Just try out some poses. And in time I will just try the other one again. Just do something. It doesn't really matter which one of them. Oops. Okay. Very good. Now, calm down. And control your fours. Hold. Sit in your calves. Put your head to the floor. And relax. It's one of the nicest poses. Actually, as long as you want to, but I wouldn't make it too long, because otherwise you will cool down, then the stretching is going to be difficult. So now, just watch. It's again like a trying out pose. If you want to, you can try it. If you don't want to try it, just make it work. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Okay, sit like this, then try to put your shoulder under your left leg. And then you should have a right angle here. And then you can make your foot like a control. And take your second hand here. And then push up and straighten your leg. Okay? And just hold it. I mean, when you're advanced, you can put them together and go to the side. Oh wow, it actually works. Okay, it doesn't work always. And then you really have to push. Yeah, very good. I didn't know how to get out of it, so it just always fall. And if you do it on one side, you also have to do it on the other side, so you don't go. Got an unequal body. Hello. Very good. Lift And breathe. Turn, whoop. Very good. Now, come to sit down. Now we're nearly finished. Now we slowly move into the cooling down and stretching phase. But before we do that, you can, like in this session, you can just always do the warming up sequence like once. Just like to remind your body that you're working. It works like oil in a machine. It makes your muscles smooth and you're prepared for the next poses. Right. Now, the first stretching pose is going to be the half pigeon. And you come to a plank and take your left foot, put the left knee beside your left hand. Like it should be a bit outward. You have to move forward a bit. And the further this foot is in the front, the more difficult it is. So maybe start with the foot about here, and then after some time you can move further up. Yeah, very good. And then you have this. Really, into a nice pose. You have to control the weight on your hips. Both your hips should be like the weight should be in both of your hips. So it shouldn't be like this. A lot of people do that, but that's unhealthy. So you have to be in the middle. So yeah, you might be up there. That's no problem. Then try to raise your hand. Stay there for about some breaths because it's actually quite exhausting. And then just fold over your leg. Move the back leg a bit further back and fold over your leg. And here it is important to breathe deeply. Because the more you breathe, the more mobile your body gets, because breathing like expands and makes the stretch more effective. And do it like for some time, just about like 10 or 15 or 20 breaths, as long as you want to. It's a nice pose, I think, because you can just relax a bit and do something good for your body at the same time. Very good. Some time, come up again. And it's not written in my session under the video, but you can try to lift your foot and grab it and just pull it a bit towards your body to have a nice stretch in your thigh. And just try out how far it gets. I mean, you know, you shouldn't exaggerate, just as far as you can and not too less. Release it. And then, just a nice part. Going to downward facing dog right away. And just shake it off. Shake it off. Okay. Stretch your feet and your legs. Can be legs, but sometimes it's a bit, maybe it doesn't look very sexy, but it's comfortable. Now the other leg. Right knee, right hand. The worst thing you can do is to only stretch one leg, because this is just stupid and you shouldn't do it, because then your body gets even more symmetrical. You say that, I hope. And that's not good. Okay. Again, middle, hips should be in the center, and raise your hands. And breathe. I mean, in the best case, both your hips touch the floor, but therefore you have to be quite flexible. And fold over your leg. and breathe. Very good. Sometime come up again and grab your foot if you can. It doesn't matter if you can't, whoop, but still try to have the weight in the center. Whoop. It's a multi-stretch. Stretches your thighs and your hip and like everything around your feet and legs. Not feet, legs. It's a German, Austrian-German mistake. We always call legs feet. It's quite strange. Shake it off. Do it. Just one side and the other side. Very good. Now we can try next flex pose, which is this one. One leg forward and come up like this, and then your goal is to go into the floor, and therefore you have to put back your knee and unroll your toes. This foot should be perpendicular to the floor, so your hip can really move into the floor. This one is a good stretch for improving your splits. I can't really do the splits. I think I can nearly do it, but I actually don't try a lot. Very good. Just do it a lot. Maybe kick your leg again without falling. Ooh, that's a very, very nice stretch. Release it, and then move your left knee a bit to the side, and then try to lower everything from your hips down to the floor. Should look like this. If you can put your forearms on the floor, and otherwise you can just try to move down. If you're very advanced, you can, I can't really do it, but you can try to do the salamander. I think it looks like this, but yeah. Or put the head below your foot and wink. I can just play around a bit. When you're warmed up, you can play around, but if you're not warmed up, you shouldn't risk a lot. Very good. Now come up again, straighten your leg, and fold over this leg. Actually, all those stretching poses which I do in this session could be held a bit longer than I hold them, because it's actually quite a short time what I do. Now the same thing with the right leg. Put back your left knee and move into the floor. Release your hands. If you want to, you can just not brace them. You can try to lift your back leg a bit, just to balance. So, I'm a bit silly. Good. Now we got try to lift the back leg. Whoop. Then you can do that a bit longer, and bring it to the right side, and try to lower your body towards the floor. You don't have to put your forearms onto the floor, but you can. Especially when we're young, we're quite open in our hips most of the times. Old people have a lot of difficulties with the hips. And Mom, for example, she's well, let's call it very stiff, like very stiff. And I don't even want to talk about my dad. Okay, never mind, don't tell them that I told you that. Try to have a straight back. Very good. Come up again. Straighten this leg. Pull back the foot a bit and fold over that. Very good. We need to finish. Come to downward facing dog again. Just relax your feet. Every time you do this session, maybe the first time it's okay if you do just the same thing again and again. But after some time, I would try to change the stretching poses. For example, next time you could do some research and find out about back bend stretch, like this one, or you can, if you can, if you want to, you can go to the bridge and just play around with your body. When you're young, we can do that. That's a nice present and gift to nature. Okay, that was very yogic again. Yeah. So we finished with the main part. Now, one of the main, most important poses is still to come. But before we do that, just wanted to say that for next time, just take a look at my handstand video if you haven't. Take a look at my booklet. It describes the videos and the poses, how to build them up, and the main key points, which is what is important, and stuff like that. Yeah, please like my video, subscribe to the channel, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks. And now the last pose is called Savasana. Savasana. I like Sanskrit. And for this pose, just lie on the floor and you lift your head and relax it and roll it onto the floor. Then you spread your feet quite far apart. You try to turn in your shoulders so your palms look upright. That's a bit strange at the beginning, but I would put in some really nice music and then just relax every single muscle. Sometimes relaxing muscles is more difficult than contracting them. For example, to relax the tongue and the eyes and every single facial muscle is more difficult than most of the people expect it to be. So try to go from the bottom to the top. Start with the toes. Relax them. Relax the calves. Relax the thighs. Relax the thighs. Butt muscles. Relax the core. Shoulders. Arms. Hands. Neck. Cheeks. And your ears. Eyes. Some nice music. You will feel amazing afterwards. I would do that for about 5 to 10 minutes or even longer. As long as you want to. It just feels great. I will just stop the video in order not to interrupt you. Maybe switch off the autoplay of YouTube. Good night. Oh no, not good night. Now let's do. After you finish the savasana, you just turn to one side and push up on your body. But relax for 10 minutes. 5 minutes and then you're finished. That's one of the nice things of yoga, and you feel very good afterwards. Namaste, and see you next time.